Hi everyone. Just thought I'd do a quick video just to try and explain the basics of the plan. I know some of you struggle knowing the difference between unlimited and limited, so I thought I'd just speak about that briefly. I will just bear with me because obviously it's live, so I've got to try and ensure that I include as much as possible and make it as simple as possible. Here goes. So basically, I know a lot of you have come from, really high carbohydrate diet plans. So this is a massive change. So when you get your book, you think, oh no, I really can't do this. But really, you can. All you need to do is ask for help anyway. But I'm hoping this video will help those that struggle as well. The plan does have carbohydrates. What I've tried to do is include the most nutrient-dense carbohydrates, which you eat through your limited foods. This is hence why they're limited and hence why they're spread throughout the day. So instead of eating, one big stodgy carbs like you would on a previous diet, your carbohydrates are spread through the day. Hence your snacking and things like that. They're spread through the day, so you get sort of a flow of carbohydrates through the day rather than just one big stodgy carbohydrate. I'll explain about unlimited and limited. Unlimited foods. Your unlimited proteins are the most important part of the plan. So yes, they are unlimited, and yes, we say a minimum of 250 gram. The reason I say a minimum of 250 gram is because in the past, people were not using the word unlimited and weren't eating enough and weren't losing weight. So I sort of found that the 250 gram amount worked best for weight loss. Hence why I always say eat a minimum of 250 gram of unlimited proteins for lunch and unlimited proteins for dinner. What is an unlimited protein? An unlimited protein to us isn't the actual protein weight in the actual meat, fish or poultry. It's just the weight of the uncooked meat, fish or poultry. So, for example, it's an uncooked, unprocessed piece of meat, fish or poultry. So it's not things like ham, chicken slices, things that are pre-cooked in the fridge or the deli counter. These are not unlimited proteins. These are limited meats. So unlimited proteins, just to clear that up, is meat, fish, poultry, unprocessed, uncooked. The only thing really that should be added to these, if anything, is water and salt. So they're your unlimited proteins. Then we've got as limited foods. Limited foods are basically the source of your carbohydrate. So you get, your sweet potatoes, your yogurts, everything, more or less everything what's limited has got carbohydrates in. Some higher, some lower than others, hence why they're limited. Things like limited foods like ham, chicken, turkey, these items need to be eaten mainly for snacks, not replacing unlimited foods. What you need to do when planning your meals is firstly plan around your unlimited proteins. So decide they're the most important. What unlimited proteins you're going to have for lunch and what unlimited proteins you're going to have for dinner. After that, you can add anything to those meals. So if you have 250 gram of a chicken breast, by all means, if you want to, you can add ham, processed turkey. This is fine. But the most important, the most important thing on your plate is your unlimited protein. I've noticed a lot of people when I'm checking meal plans are sending me a salad with ham on. Ham on its own. Ham cannot be eaten on its own. It is processed. Try and stick to limited. I always have this rule: limited protein limited foods should be for snacks or to accompany your 250 gram of unlimited proteins. Sorry about that. If you stick to that rule, you can't go wrong. With regards to like recipes and things like that, I get a lot of questions saying like not understanding allowances and things like that, how much they can have of a recipe, because it doesn't state. The reason it doesn't state is because it varies that much. It depends how much you're going to eat of the recipe and what the limited item is in the recipe. So basically a recipe, you need to work out basically the limited item. For example, if it's got say a bolognese has got your limited mince in, but then, you know, it depends which recipe you're doing, but we'll have your limited tomatoes, limited tomato puree. So you need to go, the allowance of that recipe would go by those limited items. So if you had 500 gram of mince and you used all of your allowance up for tomatoes and tomato puree, you could only have that recipe twice on the whole stage. So that's a little bit about recipes. Also get questions asking about limited foods per day and limited foods per stage. If a limited food comes under per day, then that item you can eat up to that amount, which it states, every single day. So for example, 2 yogurts. You can have 2 yogurts every single day because it falls under the per day limited food list. If, for example, it says per stage, what that means is that allowance needs to be spread between the whole of the stage. So if, for example, you're allowed 2 rashers of bacon 3 times per stage, that means 3 days over that stage you could have 2 slices of bacon. I'm just thinking of another thing what I get asked a lot of. You can split, if it says, you can split the limited foods over more days if you want to, but obviously don't go over the total amount. For example, passata is 100 gram twice per stage. You could split that over 4 days if you want to have less, so you can split your limited food items if you wish. What else did I want to talk about? Let me just check, just because I'm just trying to work out everything. So, why do we need to snack? Basically, snacking keeps your metabolism going all day for a start. Going through long periods of food, sometimes your body can go into starvation mode, you know, and then next meal that you eat, it'll store, you know, as fat for energy. So by eating regular, you're actually stopping, you know, your body storing the foods that you're eating as fat. Snacks only have to be small. So I get a lot of people saying they struggle to eat, you know, the snacks. Snacks can be 2 slices of ham. That is quite sufficient. 1 egg is quite sufficient. As long as you're eating every 2 to 2.5 hours, you know, you're going to achieve the maximum weight loss. If you're going longer periods due to work and things like that, weight loss sometimes can be affected, but it can't be helped. As long as you're losing weight, it's a positive step in the right direction. Let me just think what else. Planning a meal. I get a lot of people saying, I don't know where to start, I don't know where to plan. You've got a full 10-day boost in your book. There's also around, I would say about 20 now, 10-day boost plans which you can follow. You know, if you look at those and say you don't like something of a typical day, then all you have to do is swap it for something that you do like. Say if we've got a omelette for breakfast, say for example, and you haven't got time to cook an omelette, swap that something for a bit quicker and easier, like a yoghurt. So everything can be swapped. If you don't like fish, swap it for something meaty or chicken, or everything can be swapped as long as it's the equivalent. So if it's for lunch, and say for example someone's having, the example says prawns and you don't like prawns for lunch, swap it for beef or a chicken breast. So everything, you know, you can swap and change those examples around. I try to, you know, give you as many examples as possible. I'm always posting to all new examples and things like that. So that should help. I'm just thinking, let me just think what else I can cover with you. I also think that planning your food is the most important part of this plan. So plan your food, stock up on everything that you're allowed. Then, you know, you're not going to think, oh, I've run out of food and I'm going to grab something else. And adding variety, using the recipes, trying different foods that you've not tried before. You know, this will help, you know, keep you interested in the diet. I think what everyone needs to do as well is read the files. There's so many helpful documents in there. Each in the albums there's different files for chicken recipes, beef recipes, snacks that you're allowed drinks, spices that you're allowed, marinades that you're allowed. You know, a lot of people are joining the members there and not realising these you know, items are there for you to look at. So a good idea, we do post every single day with all the links, but it's a good idea for you to, you know, check those areas. We also have a group files which has lots of useful tips, things that I'm talking about now, extra recipes, meal plans as well. So, you know, use those areas. We do post about every day, but the wall's that quick, moves that quick, then you know, I know that a lot of you will miss it. Ask questions. You've got my telephone number, you've got my email address, you've got me on inbox, you've got advisors. Ask questions. Don't just get the book and think, I can't do it. You know, most people say to me, I can't do it, and I'll say to them, right, try and write one day's plan about how you think it should go. Send it to me, I'll check it, and I can help you make any changes. I would say 90% of people that do this get it 100% right. They're just scared of the actual changing obviously what they're used to. But if you do actually try, you'll find that you can actually do it. What I'm going to try and do is, obviously I'll just run through again, you know, what I've tried to go through with regards to unlimited and limited, and then I may do a video later in the week with some questions and answers. This is obviously only my second video I've done, so I'm erming and you knowing, but they will get better. I hope it helps anyway. So basically, basics of the plan. Unlimited proteins are the most important part. Plan everything around your unlimited proteins. A minimum of 250 gram for lunch and a minimum of 250 gram for dinner. Once you've decided on those, then add, you know, anything that you want, like your unlimited salad to it, your vegetable days, which vegetable days now you're allowed 4 vegetable days per stage. So you can have, you know, a handful, a decent sized handful, you know, alongside your meat, fish and poultry for lunch and dinner 4 days a week. I think if you use the unlimited food as your most important, then plan snacks and breakfast around that using your limited foods. Another thing I wanted to cover was eggs. With eggs, we class eggs as 80 gram of protein. So 40 gram for your egg white and 40 gram for your yolk. Obviously there's a rule on if you're under 40 you can have 3 full eggs, if you're over 40 sorry 2 full eggs. So obviously you need to make up what the rule is. If you're having an egg as a main meal, which is allowed, you would, if you're under 40 you would need a minimum of 3 full eggs, which makes you up to 240 gram of protein, which is fine if you add something limited with it. If you're over 40, you'd have to make it up with egg whites. So you could have 2 full eggs, and then you'd have 2 egg whites. So that'd make you up to your 240 gram. Eggs can be eaten for lunch and dinner, so you're not having to eat meat all the time. So that's another option that you can do. I think I've tried to cover everything without. It's hard for me to try and cover everything without making it even more confusing. So this is my first one. I will see what the feedback's like. Obviously, I haven't answered any questions today because this is not a question answer video. It's just me, you know, waffling on. Well, no, trying to help you and you know, providing you with some explanation about the diet. But I will do a question answer video in the future where I will reply to you all. But I hope this helps a little bit. I'm sorry if it's been a little bit confusing, but I've tried my best. Thank you.